Hi, Joy here again. Today I want to talk more about names because I realise in the past week that the video I did before about names, I didn't actually cover everything that I wanted to say or needed to say. So here it is. And also, just to let you know that the Queer Alternative has now changed its name to just Queer Alternative. They've dropped the because they had some feedback and people thought it might sound like a band. Like, that's not a bad thing. It's actually kind of cool to think that, it's a metal band, but it's not. It's a charitable trust. So they kind of felt like dropping the would be appropriate. Anyway, that's kind of proves the point a little bit about why names are so important and how names influence people's thoughts. And to sort of paraphrase Shakespeare, like a rose by any other name might smell as sweet, but if you think about that, why then is it that in most European languages that the name for rose is very similar or the same? Like in French it's la rose, and in German it's die Rosa, and in Russian it's also Rosa, and in Spanish it's Rosa, and there's significance there. Think on it. Oh yeah. So, people do, despite the fact that some people were confused or surprised, people do sometimes ask for people's names, like old names, especially people who are trans. And it is invasive. It's intrusive. And to be honest, it makes the whole idea of crafting this new identity that really reflects the inner person completely invalid. It's not respectful. So for me, my identity has always roughly been along the lines the same. It's just the label before was wrong. And I, when I said I was felt discomfort with my old name, what I should have actually said was pure evil hatred for the old name. And I'm not even joking. Well, I am a little bit, but I'm really not. When I was younger, I loved to try nicknames. Nothing really stuck too well, but I did like to try. And thinking back on it now, I realised that a lot of dysphoria that I suffered at school was based on just this one fucking label that I had to live with. And I thought I was stuck with it forever because it just didn't reflect the real me. And I did mention in the first video that I cringed. No, I fucking hated that old name so bad. And now I cringe because I changed my name in 2008, so that's nearly a whole decade away of time distance, away, far removed from that. Now I cringe. Back then, I fucking hated purely just that name and that label because it just was not right for me. Speaking about changing, the way it works, or at least the way I understand that it works, at least in this country, is that a birth certificate is a legal document and cannot be changed. And now, as far as I'm aware, that's still true, but it might well be different. And I actually had it changed through the help of a magistrate, and all of the paperwork, they signed to make it official and legal and everything. And when I did, I also changed my title as well. My title is Legally Miss, and there is absolutely nothing to stop someone doing that. When I was doing my research for changing my name, as one of the few things I found out that was really useful to know. So if this video reaches anybody who is thinking of changing their name because of trans identity issues, know that you can also change your title. Obviously you can't call yourself doctor if you don't have a doctorate or something like that. But other than that, it's a pretty fair game. So there was not an incident, but something happens from time to time, and not too often now, but I'll have a dream where I hear that old name and I wake up afterwards and I have this really strong negative feeling like, fuck, why did that have to come back? You know? Like, it's literally haunting my thoughts. Will I ever get past it? I don't know. I would love to know. I would love to know if there are any other trans people who've had that particular issue. The one other really quick thing I want to mention is when I tell people my name, they say, "Oh, that's pretty," and I say, "Oh yes, well I picked it myself," and I don't know if they think that that's the truth, but people who do know, they do ask, like, well, why did you choose Jocelyn as a name? And the reason is that it's similar enough to the old name, because I needed something that I would need to respond to that didn't sound too unfamiliar, but at the same time wasn't that name, and is easy enough to make a diminutive and call myself Joy, just because that's so far removed that it's just how I can now feel comfortable with my own name and my own label. And shouldn't we all have that? So anyway, that's my conclusion from talking about names. I'm going to try and talk about other topics at some point now. Okay, so I will see you soon. Bye!